Hey, my name is Nudie. This is superautopets. We play arena. It's what we do. How's everyone doing today? We're doing the YouTuber thing, right? We're in our car. We're talking to the camera. There's like people walking around this parking lot staring at me like I'm a maniac. So I just have to like grab the camera and then... Alright, I'm out on my porch right now. We're hanging out. We're just going to talk about this. It's a little windy. Well, hopefully the audio sounds okay, especially when I'm using this mic. And, this is going to be a less serious video. More of a chat now at this point. So grab something to drink. I got some iced coffee. Just in general, talking about like the new expansion for superautopets. Like there's obviously a lot of hype, right? You want a lot of content creation around it from the perspective of a developer, right? You want to make sure that people are getting excited about the expansion because you want to like gather, as much attention as possible so people buy the expansion. It's pretty important, right? If we want the superautopets to continue to be the game that it is and have the player base that it does have, you gotta constantly be exploring new options, new abilities, making things exciting. But how far is too far? And that's why I want to talk about the tragedy of the lioness. So the lioness is a pet, and honestly, it should change by the time this video ever releases. I've been working on this video for like a week and a half now at this point. That at the end of turn, it gives the shop pets +2/+2. And then level 2, it gives it +4/+4, and level 3, +6/+6. And it's a tier 5 unit. So you can earliest find it on turn 7 if you triple into it, which is kind of ridiculous. I think I did the math. I can like pull up some drafts here, but essentially in like 5 turns you get that'd be +10/+10. If you're at a level 3 in 2 turns, you've already beaten that. It's down +12/+12. Like it's insane scaling of the shop. In comparison to like the chicken, which I think is actually a pretty well balanced pet, there's both positives and negatives to it, but it costs 36 more gold essentially to do the same thing. If you kind of account for, okay, how do we get to +12/+12? I don't know. It's like buying like so many tier 1 units, and it takes another board spot. Like there's actually no reason to be buying a chicken over a lioness when you just have, it's free real estate. It's free real estate. So if we look at like the power curve, which is just like the overall like how to balance a game, you look at the cost of the pet versus the power of the pet, and then you have like sort of like this curve, and that should represent what's like healthy and balanced in the game. I think the chicken would be right on the curve, but if we look at the lioness in comparison, like while the chicken's on the curve, the lioness is way, it's off frame right now. It's so far busted in comparison to pets that are in a similar scale. I know you just say like, well, we just need to focus on expansion pack 3 like siloed, but I think we're setting the tone of power creep, and we don't want to do that. The one thing that's in common with most pets in this game, and specifically around the lioness, is that if you take advantage of it while you're already winning, it just makes you win farther and win faster and win more, right? So there's not necessarily a rubber band mechanic involved with it, and I try to I'm thinking that's like kind of a missing dynamic in superautopets. Like people that are losing should be able to have a way to come back into the game and have potential to get to 10 wins. Snail was a great pet that allowed you to do things, but then they nerfed it. Crab was another example, and it once again got nerfed. And I actually think lioness, if you kind of look at the theme of what lioness are famous for, which is protecting their cubs, you have a great example and a great opportunity here to make something that's like kind of fun to play with, but also is like feels protected of the people that are losing, so they can like get back into the game. So I actually have 3 ideas that we can actually maybe potentially change the lioness to, and I think these are all more thematic to what a lioness is and should be a little bit more fun to play with. Yeah, so the first idea I have is essentially the lioness becomes the tank of your build, so it's an in-combat effect or ability that would mean that if one other pet would take damage either through an attack or being sniped, the lioness would instead take the damage. So essentially it just works as a shield, and I think there's like a really cool option to have synergies. Like you can use this with scorpions, you can use this with rhinos and boars, and help things that need that attack, that before attack ability to get a little bit extra effect into it by essentially like protecting itself and allow it to protect like the other units on the board. The second idea I have is actually to change lioness ability to affect both your shop pets and your board pets, but only by applying HP to it. So I think at level 1, give it everything +1 HP, at level 2, everything gets +2 HP, and at level 3, everything gets 3 HP. And so this will allow your ability for your pets to scale on your board, but also in the shop for you to actually pivot to at a later turn. I think this is actually kind of helpful and makes all your pets pretty tanky. My third idea I actually think is the most unique one, and I think it's a start of combat ability where across the board, both your build and your opponent's build, all pets get +3 HP and then +6 and 9 HP once you level it up. I think this gives you an interesting way to kind of play around the ability that your might be a little bit more tankier than your opponent. And right, it kind of like flip things around and flip things on their head, similar to how Hyena is, where it just repositions the whole board. I think the aspect of giving your opponent a buff as well as yourself is really creative. Hey, thanks for watching. I know this was a little bit of a different video. There's not actually any superautopets gameplay in this video, so my intro didn't even work, but hey, I want to do something different. I had this big script for this video, and I was gonna go out and record and do all these extra things, and it just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, so that's why the video is the way that it is right now. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know. We'll do more weird videos in the future, and thanks for hanging out. Discord link in the description, so yeah, let's go hang out there, and I don't know. Alright, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. If we compare a level 1 Lioness with a level 1 check-in, Alright. If we compare... if we compare a level 1 Lioness